Ah, man, oh man, oh man. Good job back again, once again. Let's lock in. Apparently, if I choose to date abroad or I choose to interracially date and all of that shit, apparently I hate myself, right? I hate my mother. I hate my aunties. If I had sisters, I hate my sisters. I hate anything that represents my culture if I choose to interracially date, right? I must hate, just for me only in this particular scenario, I must hate black women if I choose to interracially date or marry interracially. Apparently, that is the general rhetoric that I've been hearing from some people as to why a lot of us choose to interracially date or internationally date, whatever you want to say it, interculturally date. But I want to switch that narrative real quick, and rather than me hating myself, I kind of feel like it is me loving myself. Loving myself enough to say, man, I don't want to deal with this bullshit no more. And loving myself enough to say, I don't want to settle. Loving myself enough to say, yo, you've got to see what's out there for you before you come back and say, okay, I went out, I saw it, didn't quite work out for me. Well, guess what? Let's see what we can make work out over here. Loving myself enough to give myself an opportunity to see what opportunities are abroad, what opportunities exist in other countries, right? If I love Latino women, I love Latino women. If I love Asian women, I love Asian women. It doesn't necessarily mean that I hate or have to hate black women because I love other women. And I kind of feel like that's the general narrative that's going around. Either it's black or bust, right? You know, as it pertains particularly to my particular ethnic background. If you're white or, you know, Latino or Mexican, Hispanic or whatever, maybe the rules apply in your community differently. But sometimes it's almost as if you're not dating somebody who's African American, African even, you hate yourself. You hate your race. You're turning your back on your race. I just don't believe that to be accurate, right? I just don't believe that to be accurate. I believe that I can love whoever the fuck I want to love, right? I can date whoever the fuck I want to date. I can be with whoever the fuck I want to be with. Don't necessarily mean that I gotta hate somebody to love somebody else. That's where I'm coming from. I don't have to hate myself to love myself. I don't have to hate myself to love other people or to love other races, to love other ethnic backgrounds, to want to broaden my horizons, want to understand what other cultures are like and how to interact with people from different cultures, networking, broadening my horizons and things like that. I don't have to hate myself to love myself. I don't have to hate my people to love other people. But it kills me every single time I hear somebody say some shit like that because it's funny. You must hate yourself. Must hate your mom. Must hate your dad. Well, you must hate your sisters and all that shit. You must hate anything that is female representative of your background. No, absolutely not. Because it's not me turning my back on my people. It's not me turning my back on my culture. Not me turning my back on my race. It's me saying, well, damn. I know what's over here. You feel me? I've lived this damn near my whole life. Is it wrong for me to want to go see what's over there? To, see what's behind door number 2? Apparently it is, right? And I just feel as though it doesn't always have to be that way. It doesn't always have to be you loving something else means you hate something else. And I'm trying to figure out where it came from. Because I love me, y'all. I love me to fucking death. There's nothing about me that I hate. I believe there's a lot about me that I want to improve on, but it doesn't mean that I hate it. It just means I recognize there's improvement needed in myself, and I'm willing to go do that. But under no circumstances do I ever want you to believe that because I choose what I choose, it means that I have to completely hate everything else. Am I sick and tired and fed up with the general narrative that is the westernized culture? Absolutely. I'm fed up with it. But it doesn't mean that I have to hate a race or hate something in order to love something else, right? Because I kind of feel like they make it super specific. Like you just don't like this people or you don't like being around these people, and that's just what it is. And from the Western culture perspective, yeah, sick and tired of it, the attitudes, the behavior, that's just not for me. It's not for me. So rather than combat, rather than fight, rather than, rally against and say all the things and be a bitter bitch and cry, bitch and moan about all of that shit, I'd rather just live my best life over here. Now, I do come on the YouTube right now every now and again to express my dismay about some of the cultural things that I see going on and I just don't agree with. I believe that's my right as an American citizen to at least voice an opinion, right? I should be able to voice my opinion without people being all in it. Well, of course, you can't have an opinion anymore in this world, so it's okay. But in the Philippines, I ain't got to worry about that. I just live my best life, and, when I go abroad, I like to have fun. So, it doesn't necessarily mean I hate myself when I go abroad, date abroad, and things like that. I just choose to love me rather than sacrifice and self-sabotage or commit myself to something I'm not happy with, Because would you rather somebody stay somewhere and be unhappy, or would you rather them go somewhere and at least try to explore what happiness means to them? I know that's a dumb question, because if you ask others, they could give two shits and a damn about your happiness, but I think as a man, that's a question you need to ask yourself, gentlemen. Are you happy where you are right now? Are you happy in your life right now? Is everything going according to plan as it is right now? And if you're not happy, I do believe that you need to figure out what it is that's making you unhappy and figure out how you can get back to happiness. And I hope that makes some sense to y'all. Maybe y'all think I'm talking outside of my ass. Maybe good doc don't know nothing about nothing. But what I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, is I love me. I don't hate me. I love where I come from. I love what it made me, how it molded me, how it created me into who I am today. And who I am today is somebody that can fit damn near anywhere that they go in reference to how I interact, communicate, and exist around others, right? So I'm forever thankful. Doesn't mean I turn my back. Doesn't mean that I hate this. Doesn't mean that it's everything that's wrong in the world. It's just a matter of, let me see where I can go to find that happiness, right? If I've been doing something consistently for so many years and it hasn't really produced the results that I hoped it would, let me try something new. And that's pretty much the way that I think about it. So I think it's more or less loving yourself than it is hating yourself if you choose to date abroad, right? Doesn't mean that you hate your family members or anything like that. It just means maybe, just maybe, let's see what's going on over here for a second, right? Let me just peek around the corner, peek in them doors, see what's going on over there. If I feel like that's something I might feel comfortable in, let me explore that. If I realize that, hey man, I've been around the world and and I'm back again, once again, hey, I would rather have done it and failed, or done it and it didn't work out, as opposed to never doing it at all. Cause at least shit, man. Ain't nothing better than, this, or nothing's better than that. Although I don't feel it's very difficult for a guy to sit there and tell me that, where they were unhappy and settling and all of that shit, they would ever go back to it. But again, loving yourself and trying to explore what makes you happy and, fulfilling your happiness and self-actualization and all of that shit, it's important. So if that means getting that little blue passport and traveling the world a little bit, or at least going to see certain destinations, all it takes is one time. All it takes is just getting started, getting there. You'll figure it out when you get there, right? I promise you, you'll figure it out when you get there. That's my time, ladies and gentlemen. Wanted to have a little bit of fun with y'all, but definitely wanted to tackle a talking point that I hear a lot about in reference to interracial, intercultural dating and stuff like that. Love y'all. It's been a good talk. Would love to hear what you guys got to say in the comment section below. Y'all take care. Y'all stay blessed. You know what it is, man. Talks on to the next one. Peace.